All right, in this video, I have a pair of Adidas sneakers that are more expensive than the Ultraboost, and one of the craziest shoes that I put on from Adidas in a while. This is the Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra. I got my men's 9.5. I will say that the fit is a little bit big though, so I should have got probably a size 9 of these. But that being said, these things are pretty crazy looking. Now, this is a pretty bold orange colorway, as you can see here. I've worn these through the last week or so, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this model. Price one of these are $220, so they're not cheap. This is like more of the elite lineup from the Terrex line, and this is, again, the trail running shoe. I did want to try these out just because I like the idea of more of like a lightweight trail shoe that has a little bit of added grip on the bottom. But this one is an interesting one because it does have a plate in the inside of the shoe as well, or some plastic rods in here to give it some rigid feel and like just more like propulsion. As you can see, it snaps back quite a bit. But anyways, I want to give you guys my overall thoughts on the shoe and let you guys know if it's worth a look or not. Now, full disclosure, this was sent over to me by Adidas. I personally asked them, I was like, can you please send me these? Because I saw them on their app and I was like, they look so crazy. And I didn't even know that they offered something like this premium of a product with the Lightstrike in the midsole and everything with this type of setup. So they were gracious enough to send them over. However, they don't get a preview of the video or anything like that. And all the opinions of the video obviously is my own. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, the box is kind of cool. It's the Terrex box. Terrex Free Hiker is kind of my favorite trail sneaker boot of all time. Like, I have every version of that. I probably have 6 versions of that shoe. I really love that one. It's one I can't say enough good things about. The Gore-Tex version's unbelievably good as well. So when I saw that they had a premium trail running shoe like this, I was like, this is perfect. Now, I'm not going to be using these for trail running per se, but we do take the dogs out and I do camp here and there. And we do hit the trails and we do a little bit of walking around and stuff. And usually like the Terrex Free Hikers that I love so much, those are more kind of like winter fall time. This is something that I could wear during the summertime and just wanted to try it out. As I mentioned, those sizing, they do run big. So make sure you go down a half a size. At least for myself, I have lots of extra room in the toe box. Even with thicker socks, I'm like, these have a little bit too much room here, but it is what it is. Now I'll get into my first impressions and just a general overview and then some words from what Adidas says about the product. First things first, you look at the shoe and you're like, dude, this is a pretty nice looking shoe. Like, it has Lightstrike Pro in the midsole, and then you do have this plastic rod that you can see on both sides of the shoe, but it also protrudes out quite a bit, making the base for the forefoot extremely wide. Something that I personally like. And then you'd have a decently wide section on the back of the shoe. It's not narrow, but it's not like extra wide. Then for the upper, it's a nice breathable material. It looks like kind of like an engineered fish wire mesh sort of thing going on there. You can see the Terrex branding on the side. I like that. And then 3 stripes on the other side. You have fused overlays across the toe box, and then around the mudguard of the shoe and up through the heel counter. Something I think that should be standard on all like basically mesh shoes and stuff like these, because the added reinforcement is definitely needed. Then you do have more fused on layers up through the laces and around the collar, and then up the stitch on the back. Now the tongue is separated in like 2 sections at the top, and it is very thin and also very breathable. It is also gusseted, which is nice, which is basically attached right here at the top, which makes it so the tongue doesn't flop left to right, which I personally think is a great move. Now it also has these notched laces in white and orange, and very welcome on a shoe like this. Obviously for trail, you need the extra lockdown. You don't want your laces to come undone. The midsole again is done in the Lightstrike Pro material, which is excellent from Adidas. I've been saying it for a long time. They need to expand that line to the casual side. We need a wider based pair of like the Prime X Strongs with the Lightstrike Pro. Like I keep saying, like an Invincible Run contender, because the Prime X's are too narrow. Like, we need a wide bodied version, because Lightstrike Pro is really solid. Also, I'd love to see a Lightstrike Pro sandal or flip flop or a recovery slide. Adidas, make this happen for me, man. I'll sell the heck out of those things for you, because I promise they're going to be good. Any which way, on the outside, you do have the Continental Rubber in this marbled look with some lugs, and it has like an orangish yellow in the front, and it fades down to the black. And split through the middle, you can see there's Lightstrike directly underneath. Now, how do they feel on feet? Is it something you can casual? I do feel like this is a shoe that has more of a specialty usage. Like, obviously, it's like a trail runner. Made for people to want to go fast out on the trails. That's why you have the extra wide platform. The Lightstrike Pro gives you a nice, soft, responsive bounce back, but the Lightstrike Pro is also absorbent enough that you won't feel like necessarily the rocks and stuff underneath your foot. But from the casual, there's a little bit of a rocking motion in this shoe that is a little bit too aggressive for just standing around in all day. Now, if you're walking around, I would say this is fun. But if you're standing around all day, you're going to be like flexing like this a little bit too much. Because of the section in the front, the toe off, I mean, check this out. There's a lot of rocker action right here. So obviously for running and stuff, that it's a really fun heel toe smooth transition. But if you're going to be walking around in these shoes, especially right here, there's a lot of roller action. So casually, yes, I would say, but not for standing in. Walking around, I would absolutely say is fine and fun. Standing in though, you'd feel a little bit wobbly, I think. Now that being said, my pair is a little bit longer than usual because it is a half size big. So maybe that is corrected if you get the right size. But for me, I did find it a little bit wobbly in the toe off because of the crazy rods that they have in here, which is something that is purposeful. Let's go ahead and get into some of the tech specs. Now again, this is a Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra trail running shoe. This is $220. So it says ultra race proven trail running shoes made in part with blended recycle and renewable materials. Supportive, responsive, and athlete proven, these Terrex Agravic trail running shoes are built for speed and the most demanding trail runs and longest ultra races. The breathable foot hugging upper supports every stride over varied terrain. Abrasion-resistant overlays add trail proven durability, and a gusseted tongue seals out the debris. Lightstrike Pro cushioning and the rocker shape promote a smooth roll off for a quick pace and comfort over extended mileage. The Continental Rubber outsole and lugged tread maintains secure footing across roots and rocks, wet or dry. By choosing recycled, we are able to reuse materials that have already been created, which helps reduce waste. These things weigh in at 9.1 ounces. The midsole drop is 8 mm, the heel is 42 mm, and the forefoot is 34. The color is impact orange, crystal white, semi-spark. So overall, very impressed with Adidas has to offer in the Terrex line with the trail running shoes. I think these are just insane. Again, very lightweight, very breathable, lots of cushion going on here. The only cons for me is the fact they're not true to size. They do run a little bit big, and also that rolling toe off motion does make it a little bit more difficult to wear these casually or just standing in. However, obviously walking around, you'll definitely be rolling around as you go. But overall, really cool stuff, and really glad that I was able to give these a try. I have an uncle that actually is really into trail running and like ultra marathons and stuff like that specifically. So I'm going to see maybe if he's interested in these and if he'll give them a go, because usually he's like a half size bigger than me. And so this might actually fit him just perfect. So a good gift to pass on to somebody that can actually use it for the intended purpose. But happy that I was able to try them out. I definitely want to see their other versions that they have. Sometimes the takedown versions of these shoes like don't have the plate in the middle and don't have that roller motion. So maybe those ones are going to be better options than these. I'll have to check them out and see. And if you guys know more about the line, leave a comment in the comment section. If you guys have these and you guys have pros or cons, leave a comment in the comment section for other people. The overall reviews of the shoe is actually pretty awesome. They're like 5 stars out of 5 for the product specifically. And I've tried like the ultra trail stuff from a couple different brands. I've tried New Balances as well as Nikes, and I'd say that this is on par, if not better than both of the other ones that are out there, which I've done reviews on my channel from the casual on both of those ones as well. I do like this crazy space though, because like the road racing shoes, I live in Oregon, they're like fun, but it's very slippery and stuff. So it's nice to be able to have some other options out there for some fun, fast footwear that look really aggressive and look kind of stylish and cool that I can wear and just enjoy wearing. But or the other version of these, I'll link them in the description of the video. I'll link the Terrex Free Hackers if I can remember as well. I'll also try to put a pinned comment for you guys looking to buy these. If you guys do make a purchase, it does give me a little bit of a kickback. It lets Adidas know that you guys rock with the channel and saw the content. Greatly appreciate it when you guys use those links. Have a good rest of the day though. Hopefully you guys will come back to the channel and watch some of my other vids. Feel free to click my name, subscribe, and all those other things. And thank you again for watching. All right, peace guys.